People use their past to tell stories. Some explain their presence with stories, and some even tell their future with stories. Well, this evening, the best place by a warm fire has been kept for the Storyteller. 1,000 miles from anywhere, and after 2 decades of war, a soldier, an honest soul, with nothing in his pockets except a penny and 3 dry biscuits, began his long trudge home. Oh, 1,000 miles the soldier marched, whistling his tuneless whistle. He'd spent his penny and was now left with his 3 dry biscuits, when one day he came across an old beggar playing his fiddle. And the soldier stopped and joined in with the beggar. Now, one couldn't fiddle and the other couldn't whistle, and quite happy they both were.
Ha ha! A merry tune.
Is it worth a penny?
More, but I can give you nothing. I do have a biscuit you can have, though.
Then you're a good man.
The soldier took one of the 3 biscuits from his pocket and gave it to the beggar.
And you deserve a better whistle.
So off went the soldier and took up his tuneless tune. But funny, peculiar and strange indeed, the soldier had a whistle like... The soldier could whistle the best whistle in the land, and he kept it up all the way down the road until he met another old soul, down in his luck and worn around the edges. But this old soul, he played knick-knack on his drum, and the soldier stood and whistled like only he could, and did a little jig in his weary old boots. And the soldier, well, he swapped a 2nd biscuit, and listen to him go. Oh, yes, a fine jig the soldier had now. Real topsy-turvy, like new. And with that the soldier bid the poor old soul a good day, and with a skip and a hop he went further down the road, still whistling away. Until the soldier came to a 3rd old soul in the road, ragged as ragged could be, playing a game of cards he was. And the soldier looked as the old soul shuffled the pack and dealt out each card. A perfect hand it was indeed. The soldier gave him a big clap.
A splendid hand of cards, if I may say so.
Is it worth a penny?
More, but I have nothing to give you.
Now, the soldier had but a single biscuit left in his pocket, and he was ever so hungry. So he thought, and he thought.
But I do have a biscuit you can share with me.
The soldier held the biscuit up in front of him, and the soldier broke his last biscuit in 2. But it didn't feel good, did it? Oh no, to give the old boy less than the others. So the soldier gave him both halves.
You're a good man. You deserved more luck than to be on your last biscuit. Here, take my cards, and may they never lose for you.
The old fellow handed the soldier the pack of cards.
Take my old sack with you too. It's an ugly thing, but very remarkable. Order a bird into it or a beast. Anything at all, and it will be there in a jiff.
The old man handed the soldier the dirty old sack, and off went the soldier with a hip, hop, skip and a whistle, as happy as sugar, with an empty sack and an emptier stomach. He walked all of the night and most of the following day until he came across a river. The soldier looked out and saw several geese wading on the river's ebb. He looked at the dirty old sack and remembered what the old man had told him.
Oi, geese! Get in my sack!
Amazingly, just as the old soul had predicted, the geese came over to the soldier, and one by one they went inside the sack. The soldier tied up the sack and flung it over his shoulder and continued on his way until he came across a friendly-looking inn.
That's a nice whistle.
Thank you. I got it from a poor old soul down on his luck.
The landlord peered over to where the soldier now sat.
Home from the war, are you?
Aye, that I am.
And I see you have a sack of spoils.
No, these are geese I trapped yesterday. I want one for my supper. If you cook it for me and give me a bed for the night, you can have the other two for your troubles.
That sounds good to me.
The landlord picked up the soldier's sack and carried it to the kitchen.
Make sure you bring me back the sack.
And so the landlord roasted the goose in clove and honey and brought it to the soldier with a bottle of the finest wine. And the soldier ate it all and sucked the bones clean and drank the wine and danced and whistled until he finally sank, still full-bellied, and slumped into bed. 3 whole days later, the soldier woke from his slumber and flung open the window. And there, up in the mountain, he saw a palace.
I thought I heard you. Sleep well, soldier.
Not bad, not bad. Whose palace is that up there?
That's the Tsar's palace.
The soldier looked intrigued.
And why are all the windows broken?
It was once a place of wealth and chandeliers and fabulous parties. Now the devils have it for their card games.
Devils?
Devils. Every night they stumble in and scream and shout and play at cards. No decent folk go near it, they're so devilish.
The soldier looked out of the window again and up at the palace.
That's a nice palace. Someone should deal with those devils.
An army tried, but all that was left come morning was shadows. These are very devilish devils indeed. And gamblers too.
Do you know, I think I'll take a closer look.
The soldier picked up his sack and headed towards the door.
But that's folly.
But the soldier was already on his way, and, folly or not, off went the soldier, with his sack over his shoulder and a whistle for luck, off to the palace. Inside, it's very quiet, as if the walls were holding their breath. Soon, darkness fell all around. In the darkness, the soldier lit a match. There in front of the soldier were 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 of the most devilish devils.
We have a visitor. Yes, and he's whistling. That's a nice whistle. I want it.
Hello.
Hello.
I hear you like a game of cards.
Oh, we do. Oh, yes. We love a game of cards.
Okay. So what should we play for?
His soul. His whistle. His teeth. I collect teeth.
Fair enough. And what will you stake?
We've got 40 barrels of gold. Any good?
Very good.
Fetch the barrels.
The devils fetched each of the 40 barrels of gold and brought them to the table where the soldier sat.
Right, let's play then.
And with that, they got on with the game. And the soldier dealt the cards. And won. And won again.
Is he cheating? Well, I am, and I'm still losing. Deal again.
Certainly.
And so the soldier dealt again, and again, and won again, and again. And the devils got into a right fume, the sort of fume that only devils could get themselves into. Fume, fume, fume. The soldier won game after game after game. And by the first bells of morning, all 40 barrels of gold were stacked up behind the soldier.
Well, my friends, I suppose we better call it a day.
No, we will not. We will call it breakfast. And you're on the menu.
Let's be sure who's going to be eating who.
The soldier flung his sack onto the table.
Do you know what this is?
It's a sack. Dirty old sack.
Is it now? Well, if it's a sack, by the grace of God, get in it!
The soldier had captured all of the devils inside his sack. He carried them outside of the palace, where he swung the bag around and hit it against the wall, and then the ground, and then the soldier himself jumped onto the sack, with the devilish devils pleading for mercy and to be set free. Finally, the soldier opened a small slit at the top of the sack.
More?
No mercy.
And will this be the end of your devilish ways in these parts?
Yes. Please let us out.
The soldier undid the top of the sack. The devils quickly flew out of the sack and straight away left the palace. Except the last one. The soldier grabbed the last devil by the leg and held it upside down in front of him.
Hey, let me down. Let me down.
I'll let you down, but only after you swear to serve me faithfully.
I swear.
And I'll hold you to your promise.
The soldier let go of the devil.
Ah! Hey, my foot's come off.
So it has. Now clear off and remember where you left it.
So, the devils took a real battering, and they rushed to hell and slammed the door shut, for they feared that the soldier would come for them again with his sack. And whilst the devils were fuming, the soldier became the toast of the town and the star of the Tsar. But no matter how much life smiles on us, the last laugh belongs to death. Oh, how everything is so dandy for our friend and hero the soldier and his magic sack. Rewarded by the Tsar, the soldier is a rich man now, a husband and a father, and lives in a grand castle up in the mountains, zest, blessed, and couldn't be happier. But because fate is fickle and fortune is cruel, one day the soldier's son is very unwell and falls into a deathly slumber. And they called for doctors and healers and prayed until they could pray no more. But still the young boy's fever raged until finally the boy passes into a deep, deep swoon. And soon the boy's room is full of long faces and shaking of heads, mumbling and praying, and a man in black comes to measure for a coffin. The soldier and his wife sit vigil at their son's bedside.
My lips are sore from praying, and my knees weary of kneeling.
I've lost my whistle from worrying. It's the very devil, I say. The very devil.
The soldier rubbed his chin with a wondered look upon his face.
Now, where the devil is that devil of mine?
Here I am, Your Excellency.
Where the devil did you spring up from?
Not so much sprung as hopped. You do have my foot.
Cure my son, and you can have your foot back.
The The soldier put his arm around his wife.
This is my good wife, by the way.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Yes, I saw your son was ill. Let me have a look at him.
The devil held up a small glass filled with water and looked through it and at the boy asleep in his bed. The little devil beckoned to the soldier.
Come and look in here, Your Excellency.
The soldier peered through the glass at his sick boy.
Tell me, what do you see?
I see a small creature.
That's death.
The soldier's face dropped.
Where does he stand?
He's at the foot of my son's bed.
Ah, good. Then he will recover. It's when he comes to the head of the bed. That's when you must worry.
The soldier smiled.
Now, sprinkle some water onto your son.
The soldier dipped his fingers into the glass and sprinkled the water gently onto his sick child. A miracle! The child opened his eyes and sat up in bed, looking very well indeed. The soldier's wife cried tears of joy and held her son in her arms and cuddled him like she'd never cuddled him before.
You're a marvel! A marvel!
Well, we do try our best, Your Excellency. Can I have my foot back now?
Most certainly.
The soldier went off and fetched the devil back his foot.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you. Will there be anything else?
The soldier pondered for a moment.
Give me the glass and I'll release you from your promise.
Really? Oh, thank you, sir.
The devil had his foot returned and the soldier set up his new trade as the Miracle Man. And he travelled the world with his magic glass. Show him a sick man and the soldier would hold up the glass. If death stood at the foot of the bed, a quick splish and a splash, and the sick and dying would sit up and pour out their heartfelt gratitude and blessings to this miracle man. But if death was standing at the other end of the bed, then the soldier would shake his head and leave, and the relatives would say, "What a pity he came too late," and pay the soldier all the same. But more times than not, he would leave happy with everyone around him praising him. Oh yes, things were going very well indeed for the soldier, until one day, 1,000 miles from anywhere, he got a message from home saying that the old Tsar had fallen very ill, and sends for him.
I've come too late.
The Tsar's wife turned to the soldier.
You save beggars and thieves and cats and dogs, but you won't save your master?
If death needs a new friend, then I cannot fight him.
Then let me go in his place.
The soldier looked at the woman who was about to lose her husband forever.
No, the Tsar has been my friend and my father. If anyone should trade places, it should be me.
The soldier turned back towards the dying man. He held up the glass and looked through to Death himself.
Sir,
Death looked up at the soldier.
take me and spare the Tsar, I beg you.
Death looked at the soldier and then moved away from the head of the Tsar's bed. The soldier then dipped his fingers into the glass and gently sprinkled water onto the man who was oh so close to dying. And the Tsar opened his eyes and sat up in his bed. Everyone stood in amazement as their master had returned to them from the clutches of death. But the soldier, he turned away and slowly walked back home to his wife and son. Not long after, the soldier lay in his bed. Gravely ill he was too, with his wife and child keeping vigil.
Is it all up for you, my sweet husband?
The soldier took the magic glass and held it up in front of him. There he saw Death waiting at the foot of his bed. But then the soldier had an idea. From beneath the covers, he produced his magical sack. He once again looked into the glass. Death stared back at him. The soldier held up his sack. Death looked up.
Do you know what this is?
It's a sack.
Well, if it's a sack, then get in it.
With a flash and a bang, but no wallop, Death disappeared from the glass and flew straight into the soldier's old sack.
Hey! I've got death in my sack! Can't you see? I've got death in my sack!
Well, the soldier leapt up and down on his bed, and he whooped and he hollered with joy as he swung the sack around in the air. The soldier's wife cried tears of joy, for her husband was no longer at death's door. Who'd have thought? Death, a prisoner? The news spread like wildfire through the village, as fast as gossip. Well, that's what it was, and within a few minutes the whole town knew, and with a few more minutes the whole country knew, and by the following day it was the talk of over 100 languages. Death, a prisoner. La mort d'un prisonnier. La muerte de un preso. So, the soldier, to be on the safe side, set off with Death in his sack, and found the thickest forest and the highest tree, and he clambered up it and hung the sack with Death in it from the highest branch, and then the soldier fell out of the tree. But with Death off duty, even a fall from the highest tree has no aches, no pains, no broken bones, and so nothing died. And what followed was very odd indeed. There were wars going on, and at the end of a day's carnage, flashing swords, explosions, the air thick with arrows, nobody died. Soldiers would look at each other, exhausted and intact. Duels at dawn went on right throughout the day. Sporting lovers would throw themselves off cliffs, only to have a long climb back up. And the soldier became the most famous man throughout the land, because now everyone could live forever. He would sit in his palace and whistle his perfect whistle. But one day, as he looked down from his window, he saw in his courtyard wandering poor old souls, old scrags of folk barely held together with aging skin and dusty bones. They were waiting for death, waiting for death's release. But it would not come. The soldier knew what he had to do. He went back to the forest, to the tree where Death would hang in the old sack. The soldier untied the sack and looked in at Death.
Death, I've led you a merry dance, but now you must have me and set the world to rights.
But Death was fearful of the soldier and his magic sack, and as quick as a flash, leapt out of the sack and promptly disappeared.
Come back!
But it was too late. Death was gone, and the soldier was condemned to watch others around him age and die. But Death would not come for him. The soldier lived on and on and on until he could not stand it any longer. He dragged himself to the edge of the earth and slowly down to hell. At the gates of hell, the soldier knocked loudly at the door.
Yes!
A simple soul comes to surrender his life.
Yes, okay. Hey, what's that you're carrying?
Nothing, just an old sack.
A sack!
Come on, let me in.
You! Go away! Go away! And take that horrible sack with you!
But where will I go?
We don't care! Just jiggle off!
I won't go until you give me a map to heaven. And 100 souls you have no longer use for.
50!
The soldier held up his sack.
Do you know what this is?
Ah! Keep that horrible thing away from me! Okay, 100!
The devils sent 100 souls out to the soldier.
Now, follow the map until you can go no further. Then go directly up until you get the sensation of standing on your head. That's the edge of heaven. After that, follow the church music.
And with a final slam shutting of the doors to hell, the old soldier turned away with the 100 souls he now had, and slowly trudged back up to earth and on to heaven. Finally, they arrived at the gates of heaven.
Who approaches the gates of heaven?
I am the soldier who took death prisoner. And I have brought 100 souls from hell in the hope that God will forgive me and let me in with them.
The souls may enter, but alone.
The soldier turned slowly around.
Go with him and be blessed.
The soldier watched as each of the 100 souls passed by him and into heaven. But the soldier had one more last-ditch plan. He stopped the last soul.
Take this, friend.
The soldier gave him the magic sack.
And once you're inside, call me into the sack.
The last soul took the soldier's magic sack and entered through the gates of heaven. And the soldier waited and waited and waited. But the thing is, there is no memory in heaven, and souls forget. The soldier waited and waited, an inch or 3 from paradise, until after a long time, forgotten, he turned and walked slowly back to earth. And, for all I know, he wanders still. Good night.